Good morning, this Thursday, the 2nd of November. I'm Grady Wolfe, market analyst with Bell Direct. Wall Street rallied overnight after the Federal Reserve maintained the US cash rate at 5.52% to 5.5% for another term, as was expected by economists, amid inflation continuing to fall in the world's largest economy. The Dow Jones rose 0.7%, the S&P 500 added 1.05%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq had the biggest rise of all, adding 1.64%. The Fed's decision to maintain and not hike the US cash rate was received positively by markets. However, Fed Chair Jerome Powell did not rule out further rate hikes in future if inflation rebounds. Positively, economic data released in recent times all point toward economic stability, while inflation also cooling, which supports the idea of a soft landing as opposed to a recession in the US, with the latest ISM Manufacturing index showing manufacturing activity contracted more than expected in October in the US. Over in Europe, markets closed higher on Wednesday ahead of the Fed's interest rate decision, with the Stoxx 600 rising 0.6%, buoyed by retail stocks climbing 1.7%. Germany's DAX added 0.76% on Wednesday, the French CAC lifted 0.68%, and in the UK, the FTSE 100 rose 0.28%. Shares in Aston Martin plunged 13% yesterday after the luxury car maker reported a bigger than expected quarterly loss and cut its volume target. The European rally also came off the back of fresh Eurozone inflation data being released, showing inflation in the region hit a two-year low of 2.9% in October. Locally yesterday, the ASX 200 extended its green run into the midweek session, closing the day up 0.85%, led by the real estate stocks and sector lifting 1.85%, while healthcare and energy stocks added 1.45% and 1.13% respectively. The local rally was driven by strength in the US on Tuesday, and the big miners rose on the back of the rising price of iron ore. On the commodities front this morning, oil is trading 0.15% lower at $80.90 a barrel. Gold is flat at $1,982 an ounce, and iron ore is up 1.23% at $123.5 a ton. One Aussie dollar is buying 64 US cents, 96.51 Japanese yen, 52.22 British pence, and 1 New Zealand dollar and 9 cents. Ahead of the local trading session here in Australia, the SPI futures are anticipating the ASX to open up Thursday's session at 0.76% higher, extending the green run into a third straight session. And now let's dive into some trading ideas for your consideration today. Bell Potter has increased the rating on Infomedia from a hold to a buy and maintain a 12-month price target of $1.75 ahead of the company's AGM in November, where it is expected at least to reiterate the FY24 guidance for revenue. Bell Potter now sees reasonable value in the stock, with the FY24 PE ratio back around 30 times and some prospect of a soft upgrade is expected at the company's upcoming AGM. And Bell Potter has downgraded Ingham's Group from a buy to a hold and has slightly increased the 12-month price target to $3.95 from $3.90 following the release of a first quarter trading update from Australia's leading poultry producer. The update was ahead of Bell Potter expectations, including underlying EBITDA guidance of $128 million, underlying NPAT-L guidance of $71 million, and the expectation of second half 24 to be below first half 24, reflecting traditional seasonality in the business and feed cost inflation. Alternative meats like beef and lamb prices have also contracted, while poultry prices have outperformed competing animal protein sources over the last 18 months. The downgrade to a hold is in light of recent share price strength, as well as exposure to feed cost inflation, again with emerging without comparable inflation in competing protein products. And that's the markets for today. As always, happy investing.